My name is Muchiri Nyaggah. I wear two hats. One hat is the Executive Director at the Local Development Research Institute, and the other hat is the Partnerships Lead within the Africa Open Data Network, which is hosted by the Local Development Research Institute, which for purposes of, how long it takes to say, I shortened it out to LDRI and AODN. So within, generally at LDRI, we describe our work as supporting efforts of African Union member states to reduce poverty, to end poverty and hunger and reduce inequality in Africa. I hesitate to find the explicit causal links between opening up data and positive results when it comes to addressing poverty, hunger, and inequality. But I think there are instances where you can say better access to information and potentially data has had some impact. When you look at how governments are making decisions on resource allocation, when that information does come out and journalists pick it up and tell that story, it in some instances ends up resulting in policy changes in favor of more evidence-informed approaches to those kinds of decisions. So, for instance, in maybe a couple of countries in Africa, there have been some scandals related to agriculture input subsidies, and you'd find that the beneficiaries of the agricultural subsidies, input subsidies especially, would in many instances turn out not to be the right beneficiaries, either because they were already empowered, they already have the resources they need to access inputs at market prices, or they don't even have farms. These are middlemen, who are taking advantage of the system. But by putting out the data about who's benefiting, where these subsidies going, that creates a discourse in the public space that ends up resulting in changes, in strengthening of systems, in realignment of programs, in the firing sometimes of unsuitable civil servants who are in positions of power. I'd love governments to stop hiding stuff. I think a lot of the information that governments hold that would be extremely useful in addressing these issues remains locked up under the fear of the Official Secrets Act, especially those that were former British colonies. And that has a huge negative impact on efforts to implement anything that government attempts to do. Because one, it doesn't allow non-state actors to bring their wisdom and their resources to the same problem, to addressing the same problem that the government is trying to do with limited resources. Second thing it does is that it makes it very difficult for government to know what it knows. Because when data and information is held in that way, even those in government who need it can't get it. What I'd like to see governments do more is improve the infrastructure and the enabling environment for knowledge sharing. I think maybe the removal of institutional silos within governments would allow for a sharing culture to at least exist within government. And I think as long as you have a sharing culture happening, people can access the evidence they need to make informed decisions, and they can share that evidence with everyone else, so that we understand the rationale and the evidence that was used to put a hospital in a specific corner of the city, or a bus route in a specific part of town. So yeah, those are maybe the thing that I'd like government to stop doing, and the thing I'd like them to start doing more.